This one's just bursting the fuck out of me. I haven't been awake more than 5 minutes. I haven't done anything. Doesn't matter. I want to thank Shadow. I want to express sincere, real love, appreciation, gratitude for Shadow. What an absolute fucking blessing that is, and what a tremendous gift to all of us, to all of light. First of all, we all have both, right? It's the same. It is the same as masculine and feminine energy. We all have both. Shadow is not separate from. It's not light. It is, by definition, sort of the absence of it, but that means the definition of shadow is based on light. It is all founded on the existence, the truth of light. And in fact, it always is in service of light. It is the greatest servant of light. It's been spoken by many gurus that shadow and ego and those moments when we witness someone driven by it, including ourselves, that is our greatest teacher. Those people, those experiences are our greatest teachers, because they show us, first of all, they give us the opportunity to stand. They give us the opportunity to stand strong in our own power, to really fully embody that and be pushed against, to be pushed and to stand there, to not push back, but to stand firm and strong in our belief, in our faith, in our power, not to give that away when someone is provoking a reaction, when you feel triggered and you realize that, and you don't have the knee-jerk reaction, but you see that it exists within you. You see that it's right there. It could easily have come to the surface. It could easily have come out. And you know that it has in the past. And you forgive yourself, number one, for that. You don't judge yourself for it even. There's not even forgiveness necessary. See, Source never forgives. Source has never forgiven anybody because Source has never judged anybody. There's never been anything to forgive. You see that in yourself and witness and recognize the beauty of it, that this is your opportunity to recognize that pattern, that behavior from a new perspective, that you couldn't have done that if not for this, that all of it was building up to this, that nothing ever went wrong. You weren't wrong even to have your reactions. This person is not wrong to have their reaction. All of it is a part of playing a role. They agreed to play this role for you. For you. Somebody agreed to be the villain for you so that you could stand in your own power and be the hero for yourself. How fucking compassionate is that? And what we would call selfless. I don't care for that word. I don't care for the way that we currently define the words selfish and selfless, because they've been misdefined. In fact, the word selfish originally only meant that which is like myself. It is something that is of me. It is me-ish. It is selfish. And it wasn't until much, much later on that the church, unfortunately, turned that into a different word and set up the word selfless as the foil of it, as the better, holier version. That word didn't exist. That word was just made up to control people. The word selfish just means that which is like myself. You should be selfish. That means being your authentic self. To recognize someone else that is similar to you, that is selfish. We are selfish. We are of the same self. It is, in fact, witnessing spirit in another. That's what that word really means. But I digress. What a fucking gift it is for someone to play that role for you to play that role for yourself, for others, to have the opportunity within yourself to witness that as well. And again, that is the opportunity to reach the challenge to climb to this higher perspective that not only forgives, but transcends forgiveness, sees that there is no wrong. There has been no wrong. All of it has been exactly right. There's nothing to forgive. It was all a part of the learning. That is what shadow does for us. That is why Satan, which is not a name, it's just a word, the same that Christ is not a name, it's just a word. It's a descriptor. It's an adjective. What does Satan mean? It means adversary. Actually, technically, that's a noun, I guess. Grammar. But that's what it means. It means the adversary. It means the one who tests you, not the enemy, not the bad guy, not the thing to be destroyed. The adversary. The opponent in this sparring match, who is chosen to challenge you so that you had the opportunity to practice what you have learned and to learn something new, so that you have the opportunity to stand up for yourself. Someone has to push against you for you to do that. And you play that role too, all the time, for yourself and others. What an absolute gift. What an honorable thing. It is shadow, which I do relate to the ego strongly, and then to the masculine aspect. It is shadow that has chosen, that has volunteered to diverge the furthest, to travel the furthest from the source. It is shadow that is the bravest of adventurers. And so has an honored seat at the table at the right hand. It is shadow that is the prodigal son, that on return is celebrated, that we have killed the fatted calf for. Welcome home, beloved. Thank you for being you, for choosing to go so far away from all that you are, because you are this. You are light. You are love. You have opted to wreath yourself in all of this, which you are not, in order to help all of us, everyone, further understand what we are and what you are. You chose to forget so that remembrance could be possible. You chose to be imprisoned so that the experience of liberation could be possible. None of those things were possible without that. You chose to be separate from so that we could have the experience of realizing union, of realizing connection, of seeing through. You chose to deceive so that we could see through deception. You chose to be illusion so that we could overcome that and benefit and grow, transcend, expand, all of it. The greatest servant of Source is shadow, and it lives within all of us. Embrace that. If you are a light worker, if you are someone who calls yourself or considers yourself a light worker, you are a shadow worker in equal measure, perhaps more accurately spoken. You are a lover of shadow, an appreciator. That is what it means to shine the light on it, not to diminish shadow, not to make it disappear, not to burn it away, to show it what it really is, which is light all along. That which is the same as you. It is you. You are it. When you witness shadow within especially, within and without, always, but when you witness that within yourself and you see it as you, it is all yourself. There has never been any separate. There is no aspect of you that is not beloved by source, that is not of the light, of love, of life. When you recognize that, shadow transcends. Shadow remembers itself, remembers who it is. You stare at your demons and you remember them as angels. And they remember themselves to be angels. And suddenly the scales fall away. And they're feathered and light. Again, they remember the lightness of the love. They love themselves again. And they return. All devils have ever been were fallen angels. That's in the literature. They only ever descended because they chose to. Because they chose to help in a different way. They chose to serve in a different way. It's always been in service of light, of the self, which all of us are. Embrace shadow with the deepest of love and respect. It is your greatest friend. It has done you the truest service of compassion to stand up against you, to play the role of the opponent, of the adversary, of the villain, so that you had the opportunity to embrace your power, to stand in it, to enforce it for yourself, truly, to embody the source, the divine being that you are. That's all shadow has ever been teaching you to do. Thank you, shadow, for being exactly as you are. We couldn't do it without you. You volunteered for this role, to be demonized, to be crucified, to be hated. There is no braver energy in all the universe than that. Thank you for being the deceiver so that we could see through deception. And in the gratitude, in the recognition, in the reaching of this higher perspective, which could not have taken place in any other way, the lesson is complete. I will keep learning this. I will keep remembering this and have it reinforced, I am sure. But shadow will never look the same to me. I know now. Having shined the light on it, I have seen. It's just like me. In fact, it is me. In fact, it is every bit as beautiful, if not more so, than all the exquisite grandeur that surrounds me, than any angel I have ever worked with. All of them are angels, all of them beautiful. You know that the angels love their shadows. They see them as exactly that. I'm just grateful. And I know that this is a significant message and point for all deliberate creators. To call home the prodigal son of shadow and know it as yourself, love it as yourself, to be filled with pride for it and appreciation, to be thrilled by it being what it is, this brave warrior. And when you witness it, you call it home, you call it up to the finest, the highest version of itself. You sublime shadow. You allow it to, because there's no forcing, there's no changing. It's the appreciation of it as it is. As it is. It had to be as it is to play that role, and it allowed It allowed that to be. When you see that, it's set free. It's served its purpose. It's played its role. The role is complete. It is now released to become that which it truly is and wants to be. You set it free to go home to itself. And it is grateful. And then it's just this overwhelming gratitude that I cannot even begin to describe. It is a celebration. It is that welcome home parade, not just a party. The whole town, the whole of my kingdom is out on the streets cheering for the return of Shadow. And we have killed the fatted calf, and we will celebrate. What a beautiful thing that I am so grateful to experience and witness, and would not trade anything for. Thank you, Shadow. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being exactly as you are. I am awed and honored and thrilled by your being. And I just wanted to express that.